About 7:30 in the evening, we got a call. Tones went off. We jumped in the fire truck and headed that way. Lights and sirens. I was the acting captain then.
We were out one night. Luckily, nobody was home.
I was very sad from the beginning. Yeah, I lost most of my stuff.
When we finally figured out that we lost everything, I thought, why us?
Tremendous tragedy for people who have a fire and don't have anywhere to go.
We arrived on the scene. It was utter chaos. Over to the right of the house, they were screaming and yelling at the parents, saying my kids are in there. Me and Rick Dowden made an attack through the back because of the front of the house was fully engulfed in fire. We couldn't get in the front, so we went around the back and we fought our way through the about 8 feet in the back door, and the fire pushed us back out. And when we got back out, me and Rick looked at each other and said, we got to get in there because there's kids in there. So we knocked the fire down so we could get further into the fire, and then that's when we found 2 little girls, Jessica and Haley Bauslag. We were too late. I remember saying a little prayer, but I remember Rick Dowden saying something, Skip, we need to help these people. Through that tragic event, we felt there was a need of a house for fire victims. A fire rescue house is a house that shelters people for 2 weeks that are fire victims or people in natural disaster.
Usually the Red Cross will put somebody up for 2 days.
Red Cross was very kind enough to lend us to this place and to the people that we met Shane, and she kindly loaned this house to us to stay in for 2 weeks.
If these people don't have anybody, a relative or whatever to go to, then basically where do they go? So we provide 2 weeks of housing so they can try to get their feet back on the ground.
We feed them, we clothe them, and we give them spiritual counseling if that's needed.
Find out what their immediate needs are, which of course is going to be shelter, obviously, which we've covered, food, clothing, and the volunteers come in. We even have medical assistance if they need it. We help them get prescriptions if those were lost in the fire. Local restaurants will bring in food. We have the Kroger store will give us gift certificates for the family. We have connect them with churches, chaplain services if they need it.
We help fill the voids of their hearts, and we do their thinking for them for a while.
When we got here and started living here, I felt a lot better than what I was.
Staying at this house was a privilege. It was very heartwarming. It was very nice.
Well, we obtained the second fire rescue house. Chief Bruce Waters introduced me to Frank Caldwell. His son was involved Eric Caldwell was involved in a car wreck that unfortunately he died. And Frank said he wanted to donate a house to a cause, and he thought our cause was good. And I told Frank, I says, if you donate the house, we'll do it in memory of his son, Eric Caldwell. So that gave birth of the Eric Caldwell Fire Rescue House.
I've been in the insurance business for 27 years, so I know what people who have a fire, what they go through.
Well, since November of 2009, our organization has housed 50 families in the Anderson House, the Madison County Fire Rescue House in Anderson. The Eric Caldwell Fire Rescue House has housed about 7 families, so that's over 50 families all through the county. Well, the cost for 1 year for one fire rescue house, and this is generalized terms, is around $5,000.
As far as the financial resources that are needed, it's to pay those bills, to pay the heat and the gas bills.
But that doesn't include all the volunteers maintaining the fire rescue house, the businesses that donate the food, anything that might break down, or any additions that we might have to make to that.
Everything you can think of that you would need when you first start up a home, we need the resources to be able to do that.
We need that money to keep the doors open, because if we don't keep these doors open, fire victims don't have a place to come to.
And then when we met Shane, everything changed.
As soon as we walked in the door, we felt welcomed and we felt like we were at home.
When she told us that here's a house that you can stay in for 2 weeks, and just to help us get back up on our feet, it meant so much.
I think the first night that I slept, that's when I realized that it was going to get better.
It meant so much. It gave us a sense of hope back.
Without donations, we would not be able to keep our doors open. That's just the fact of it.
Hi, I'm Daniel Stevens, and I have the wonderful privilege to serve as the president of the Fire and Rescue House of Madison County. The Fire and Rescue House plays a very important role in helping families who have been affected by fire get back on their feet. It takes countless volunteers and a steady stream of resources to offer this transitional housing as well as other supports to these families during these difficult days. I want to personally thank you for your support of this organization, or encourage you to consider partnering with us as we minister to families in our community in this unique way. If you would like more information about our organization, please log on to our website at firerescuehouse.org.